The DOGE man cometh. Elon Musk has sent out an email to all federal employees requiring that they justify their job. They are to tell the DOGE team what they did last week, and failure to comply by Monday would be taken as a resignation of their job. This is an article from The Hill discussing this issue. This is by Ashley Fields, and she writes, Musk sends warning to federal employees over new Trump policy. Elon Musk, special advisor to President Trump, warned federal employees on Saturday of a new policy requiring them to detail their work efforts via email in order to keep their jobs. Musk wrote, consistent with President at Real Donald Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week. Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. The tech giant did not outline any additional details on the public platform. However, The Hill reviewed a copy of the message sent to federal employees. It reads, please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments. The deadline is Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, Musk's post comes as a slew of executive orders are changing the landscape of the federal government. Members of Congress have alleged that this recent internal orders have restricted employees at top agencies from speaking to lawmakers or outlining the details of internal probes from the Department of Government Efficiency. Oh no! Among President Trump's recent executive actions are those that have removed thousands of probationary status workers from federal agencies and intend to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at all levels. Oh no! You can just tell that she doesn't like this. Anyway, the American Federation of Government Employees responded to the email sent to federal employees with a statement expressing frustrations. They write, once again, Elon Musk and the Trump administration have shown their utter disdain for federal employees and the critical services that they provide to the American people. But do they all? It is cruel and disrespectful to hundreds of thousands of veterans who are wearing their second uniform in the civil service to be forced to justify their job duties to this out-of-touch, privileged, unelected billionaire who has never performed one single hour of honest public service in his life. Oh, I'm sorry. Everywhere in the world of reality, people have to justify their jobs to their employers. Oh no, that they would have to do the same. How shameful, how bad. Anyway, the group went on to write, the AFGE will challenge any unlawful terminations of our members and federal employees across this country. Now, my friends, Elon Musk's email appears to be in response to President Donald Trump, who had praised his work so far and called him to do more. He had said just hours before this email was sent out that Elon is doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make greater than ever before. And my friends, the stage is set for such a move. As just a few days ago on February 20th, U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper in Washington, D.C., rejected a bid by labor unions to halt mass layoffs in the federal government by Trump, ruling that the unions lacked jurisdiction and that the unions must first take their case to the Federal Labor Relations Authority. This decision effectively clears a legal hurdle which allows the Trump administration to proceed with terminating thousands of federal workers, right now primarily targeting probationary employees and those in their first year or two on the job with fewer protections. Now, all of this opens the door for the Trump administration to continue to escalate his slashing of useless government employees, which is why the Musk's email subject line reading, "What did you do last week?" is so important. You see, it echoes a tactic that Musk has employed before. Back in 2022, Elon Musk did a hostile takeover of Twitter. Do you remember this? It's now known as X. The radical leftists working within the company at the time were sure that they could bury Musk and thwart his efforts to clean up the company. Instead, he came in swinging. Elon Musk took the fight directly to the employees, and within just a few weeks, he had slashed the Twitter workforce in half from its bloated 7,500 employees to 3,750. Many so-called experts on the outside mocked Elon Musk for doing this, declaring that the platform would collapse under the weight of such drastic cuts. Remember that? How could it possibly function without all the bloat, without all these wonderful employees with their crucial jobs? And engineers who worked at the company and were fired from Twitter warned that there would be technical breakdowns, and advertisers fled, and critics foresaw a degraded user experience that would soon ravage the site. And yet, the average end user, the average person using Twitter, and now X, someone scrolling through tweets, posting updates, or liking memes, the mass firings had no discernible negative impact. In fact, the website didn't crash. Its core functionalities like posting, direct messaging, and timeline scrolling were mostly uninterrupted. And in fact, in many cases, it turned out to be the opposite. Twitter became leaner and more efficient post-cutting. Internal reports from late 2022 indicate that despite losing half of its staff, including much of its content moderation and engineering teams, the platform maintained uptime and even rolled out new features like longer video uploads and the revamped Twitter Blue. So how could Twitter, now X, have survived after slashing the workforce in half? Well, Elon Musk is not a fool. Twitter, pre-buyout, was just greatly overstaffed. There was a lot of bloat. There was massive waste within the company. Elon Musk exposed all of this, and he pointed to what he saw as redundant roles and low productivity. And so he fired them all. And the remaining employees, after the firing under intense pressure and under Musk's hardcore ethos, reportedly worked longer hours and focused on high-impact tasks, boosting the output per worker. Wow, just like a real company should work. And so, in the context of the federal government, Elon Musk's email here and his directive to all the federal employees shows us where his head is at. He understands that he is dealing with a massively bloated, massively overstaffed federal government that in reality should be a fraction of its current size. It is a corrupt institution built around fat cat bureaucrats whose only loyalty is to keeping their paychecks coming and to helping grow the bureaucracy to further the institution's size and bloat. Something that has been occurring for decades and that the American people no longer want, nor need, nor can even afford anymore. So Elon Musk then is deploying a similar tactic. He is going to barrel through the web of infrastructure that's all designed to keep outsiders from understanding, let alone auditing or editing the system. His direct and sudden high-stakes demand for employees to justify their existence now through tangible output will be key here. This tight deadline with an implication of severe consequences for non-compliance, meaning resignation or termination, are all consistent features with who Elon Musk is here. It is all designed to quickly identify and eliminate perceived inefficiencies. So the question then is, will this translate to the federal government with its current 2.3 million civilian employees and reputation for bloat? Will it work for the federal government as it did for X? Well, I'd argue yes. Yes, it could. Think about how outrageous this is. That the U.S. government civilian employees in the Department of Defense alone is now at 700,000 employees, or the IRS with their 85,000 agents that were hired under the Biden administration, and where we still have tax processing delays despite massive staffing increases. Having a forced reckoning via a simple email, like what Musk has done here with his "What did you do last week?" will help spotlight who is essential and who is not. This could potentially yield a leaner workforce focused on measurable outcomes, like faster veteran healthcare at the VA or quicker disaster relief from FEMA or whatever it's replaced by. Elon Musk, I think, might just be the right man at the right time, at the right place. He has proved he understands how to slash a workforce and increase productivity by creating a merit-based workforce. Something the government, I think, desperately needs.